Hi everyone, I'm back. And as you can see, we're going to move from Sedona. I'm going to change my background screen so that you can see some other cool places that we're going to be. Um, we're going to the Grand Canyon, folks. So let's pop that up. And then I'm going to be talking about the train in just a second. That's the observation dome that you're going to be in. So, see? And the parlor dome. This is one of my favorite cars. This is down below. And you see in the back here, that is the bar. So maybe a little early for a drink at when you get on, but it's a fun place to be. So let's get back to the Grand Canyon because that is just such a spectacular place to be. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. So let me pop in. Whoops. Just playing around here. All right, let's get back into that slideshow. So this is the second half of the slideshow. I wanted to continue talking about where we left off, which is here from day two, your first full day. Um, let's go to the next slide, shall we? Your free time that first day, there's a lot of different options. So one of them could be going to the Wild West Junction. There's going to be music playing that night. The Fred Harvey Restaurant has music playing every night as well. But I recommend going here because you're going to have the opportunity to go to Fred Harvey Restaurant, excuse me, the last night. So I like that. And then if you're the adventurous type, I've done this zip line. It's really fun. It's only a couple blocks long and not very expensive at all. It's like somewhere around the $20 mark. And just kind of a fun bird's eye view of Williams. So that's an option. And then if you're into more adventure, there is a Canyon Coaster Adventure Park. This guy's ripping through the pines here, the Ponderosa Pine Forest. I think they have bumper cars and things like that. I haven't actually been to this particular park, but I know other people have and enjoyed it. So that's something to consider. And then maybe you just want to stroll down Route 66. One of my favorite places is the Dairy Queen, where they have the old Dairy Queen sign. So you really feel like you're going back in time, other than the more recent cars. Um, the facades of the storefronts and the restaurants all are kind of made up into the whole Route 66 theme. So I think you'll really enjoy this. Wonderful places to eat, very Southwest and cowboy style eating. On your food tour, you're going to focus on Native American flavors, Mexican, Southwestern spices. And then, of course, on that food tour, you're going to learn about Sedona and how it came to be. But Williams has its own little feel, its own little vibe. So you'll get a different kind of cuisine experience there. And that first night, you have dinner on your own. So enjoy that. Now, let's talk about the day the train ride starts, because that's what people get really excited about. Again, remember, you're going to have your documents and you'll have your bags ready, all packed in your room, and they will be transported separate from the train up to the Grand Canyon just as a convenience to you. There's a courier that takes all the bags up and places them in your lodge, which is going to be at the Maswik South Lodge. So that will make it really super easy for you. And then you'll start your day with breakfast. It's a buffet style breakfast at the Fred Harvey Restaurant that I pointed out in that first slide that I showed you when we entered into the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. It's the building with the blue roof and the solar panels. You can start your breakfast as early as 6:30. And again, this is included as part of your package, so you just will bring in the ticket from your packet that you've received and eat the yummy breakfast. And they'll have omelet making chefs there and they have everything. There's just a huge buffet of opportunity for you. So anything from fruits and vegetables to omelets and meats and cold cuts and pancakes, all of those fun things. And then after breakfast, depending on what time you start, you're going to have a reenactment shootout, which is so fun. I just love this. So the guys that are standing in the bottom picture there are part of that Old West shootout. And so that particular, it's right on the grounds there. It's that particular shootout happens right near where you're going to board the train. So it makes it pretty easy for you just to walk right on over, which you'll see in that other picture to the right. You'll get on the train and you'll have a lovely woman or gentleman like this person here, making sure that you're getting on the right car. If you look in the picture to the right, on top there, the car that you see that has the print canyon on it, that's the observation and parlor car. So you'll know by just looking at the train itself which car you're going to be getting in. But like I said, it's going to be numbered and really obvious. Um, so you are going to be in an adult only car and you'll have access to two floors, the observation dome, which is at top, and the parlor car that's on the bottom. And so we're going to talk about that. Snacks and beverages are included with this package. Um, so it'll be really fun for you to be able to explore that. I don't remember exactly how many seats, but it's going to be around 40 seats. And that's the number of tickets that are sold for that full car. So it's never feels full because you have the upstairs and the downstairs to choose to sit. The commentary is going to be upstairs, as you can see. And the entertainment happens more downstairs. So a lot of people on their way up like to listen to the commentary, and that's when I feel it's most rich because people are excited. And so I think the commentators themselves give a better historical lesson, and they're very well trained. So if they don't talk about the Harvey girls, if that's something you want to hear about, just ask them and they will talk about it. But they'll point out wildlife on the way and certain geological features, those kinds of things while you're upstairs. And then you can go downstairs in the parlor room, which is the picture in the right-hand corner. I love this room. I love the wood paneling and the old pictures and this is where the entertainment comes through. You see Jess there with her guitar. Anyone that is a cast member will be fully dressed in Western wear. Makes it a lot of fun for you. And then downstairs and upstairs, you have bars. Um, you will have snacks provided as part of your ticket, and there's going to be a drink as well, like a champagne drink. And I don't remember if it's on the way up or on the way back, but that is included as part of your ticket. And then if you want to have a drink or two or three or whatever, that is going to be on your own. But the soft beverages will be available as part of your ticket. The full train ride is 2 hours and 15 minutes. And besides the lounge and the observation, excuse me, the parlor and the lounge, you also have the that back platform where you see the gentlemen and women. This is actually they're getting off right now at the Grand Canyon Depot. So that's what it looks like. But you have that back viewing for viewing nature at its best and taking really fun photos to upload to Instagram or Facebook or whatever send back to your friends. But it's a fun way. So it's kind of fun way to see some of the um some of the wildlife and geology and get some fresh air. So let's go on to the next slide here. All right, so day three continue. Once you get to the Grand Canyon, you're going to be arriving, um, I'm trying to remember, like right before noon. And you'll have time for lunch. And again, your tickets are going to have a timetable. So you're going to be able to see everything in front of you. But you're going to have lunch at the Arizona Steakhouse, which is elevated dining experience. Most people do a different experience, but you get to do a la carte at the Arizona Steakhouse. And so that picture kind of center right is the area that you're going to be at Bright Angel Lodge, and you get to peer over to the Grand Canyon, which is really beautiful. And then you see a couple different plates of food up in the right-hand corner. Really huge helpings, and really lovely food. So you can do something meaty and starchy, or you can do something really healthy. Do a nice Cobb salad. I mean, they're just heaping. Um, and then there's desserts too. Desserts and drinks are included. as well. So you'll have a nice full meal. You'll want to be done by 3 p.m. because that's when the restaurant closes. But I recommend between 1:30 and 2 as your start time. So maybe you get off the train, you go over to the visitor center and learn about the different activities that you can do the next day. There's three different visitor centers in the next video. I'll go over that a little bit, but there is one right near the depot. That's a smaller one. And then there's going to be one, I'm going to show you on the map, but if you visualizing a map and you look to the right, the bigger one is over on the other side of the park. And you can take one of the shuttles to get there, or you can walk the 15, 20 minutes. But it'll give you information about all the tours, the hiking that you might want to do, featured locations that you might want to see, that kind of thing. So that's what I recommend. Go to one of the visitor center. Maybe you want to go to El Tovar, which is right by the depot as well. And the Hopi House also is right there by the depot. And then head on over to lunch. After you're done with lunch, check-in is officially at 4 p.m. Sometimes they will be able to open up the rooms for you prior, and you're going to be staying at the newly, um, it's not remodeled, it's a brand new building. And so it's a newly built building, the Maswik South Lodge. And they don't even have pictures anymore. That picture there is a rendition, but it has all the modern conveniences, and you're just tucked into the Ponderosa pines, and it's just really lovely. The old Maswick Lodge you'll pass on the way there, and it's more rustic and it's fine too. But again, we wanted to elevate this experience for you, and so that's why we're staying at the Maswick South Lodge. Um, and then you can also have the Maswick, what's it called? The Maswick Food Court is right there, and there's a pizzeria. So you have a lot of eateries right next to you. At 5:15, you want to be ready to be picked up for your magical 2-hour sunset tour. And that picture in the bottom right-hand corner kind of illustrates the views that you're going to see. And this view doesn't even take into account the grandeur of the Grand Canyon. It is so grand, and that's why it's one of the seven wonders of the world. Uh, every direction that you look, left, right, I mean, it's just grandiose and beautiful. And those long shadows that fall behind the peaks just will memorize you. It's just such a fantastic way to see the canyon. And so we upgraded this, me, upgraded this ticket so that you would be able to experience the sunset tour. Now, if you're wanting to do dinner at the El Tovar, which requires reservations, you're going to want to keep in mind that you won't be getting done with your tour until about 7:15. So the earliest your reservation should be at the El Tovar is 7:30. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're making reservations. And on that third video that I'm going to share, you will see how you can make reservations. All right. So let's talk about some of the free time activities, okay? So the Kolb Studios, I think, is one of my favorite places to go. The brothers um, took pictures of the Grand Canyon in black and white, and it's one of the first images that people have seen of the Grand Canyon, and really gave the Grand Canyon um, put it kind of on the map, in terms of being able to give people a vision, a sight to see what to expect in the Grand Canyon. And that's really when the tourism started, was back then. And the Kolb Studio has been around since then. Obviously, there's been a lot of creation since the 1900s. They've really developed it. But you still feel like it's like it was 20 years ago. A lot of the things that they have are like the mule rides, for an example. They had those way back in the day. It's not the most comfortable ride, just to be honest with you, but it is an interesting way of getting around. If you're going to be doing a mule tour, you're going to have to take the 8 a.m. mule tour, because remember, you're going back to Williams that day, later the day. You want to be back to the depot around 3 p.m. So if you're doing mule rides, just keep that in mind. Then you have bike rides, both tours, e-bikes, regular bikes. You can rent bikes if you want. You don't have to do a tour. You can just, ride around, or you can take the shuttles. A lot of people like to take the shuttles. There's three different routes. And then Mary Coulter, I just have to give her a shout out because she's one of the architects of the Grand Canyon and really put the Grand Canyon on the map. So she's responsible for um, the Hopi House, which is next to the El Tovar. She's responsible for being the master architect of the El Tovar itself. And then there's the Hermit Rest also that you can check out while you're in the Grand Canyon. So I love her. There's a lot of history about the Harvey girls and yeah, I just think there's just so much to do here. I love the hiking over by the Kolb studio. And so let's look at the next slide so you can take a look at what the map looks like. Okay. So I'm just going to point out four different places to kind of give you an overview of the main area where you're going to be staying. All right. So let's look at that. So if you look in the left-hand corner, I'm going to pop up a red star. You see that there? Bottom left-hand corner. On this map, you'll see there is just three trees, but now there's the South Lodge. So that's where you're going to be housed. Okay. And then if you go, just take your eyes up and look where it says Maswik Lodge here. This is the old rustic lodge that I mentioned. And that's where the shuttles start. There's another shuttle over by the information center here. This is the Backcountry Information Center where you can get wonderful maps about hikes and things like that. So you're close to a lot of fun there. Um, and you can walk this, of course, but just keep in mind that you have this blue route to go a couple different directions. And they run every 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the time of the day. So during the daytime, every 10 minutes. And then as you get closer to closing time, I think it's from 6 to like 10, they run every 15 minutes. So certainly easy to get around and pretty fast way of getting around as well. So the next thing I want to show you is if you take your eyes and move them up to the center top, um, we'll look at the X. X marks the spot for where you're going to be coming in. This is right here is the train and the depot. See that? The Grand Canyon Railway train depot. Up the hill, and it is up a hill. In fact, it's a little steep, and I do believe they have little shuttles that can take you up here for people who don't want to walk it. It's not that difficult if you take your time, but there is a way of getting up there without needing to walk it if you don't want to walk it. Because remember, you're at 7,000 feet, so you do want to take care of yourself. The El Tovar is here, and it sits right on the edge of the Grand Canyon. Beautiful. That's where a lot of people like to go for dining. In the Hopi House, sometimes they have Native American dancing and things like that, and you can just go in there and find out when that might be. But I experienced that myself. It's really fun, whether it's drumming or what have you. And this is another Mary Coulter architect design. And then if you look to the left, or excuse me, I'm going to go to the right. Let's go over to the visitor center on the right side here. And the big purple triangle. This is the main visitor center, folks, that you might want to be checking out for your hikes, for learning about bike tours, the mule rides, helicopter rides, whatever you want. Um, and then also inside there, they have like a welcome orientation of the Grand Canyon and other little short movies. So that's a really good spot to start. I highly recommend that. Over by the depot, this is another visitor center that you can take advantage of, okay? So you can stop by here since you're going to be close by, but do make your way over to this purple one because I think that's where you're going to get a wealth of information to be able to check out things. Oh, this geology museum, by the way, is really cool. See me circling it here. I do recommend that on your free time if you have it. But I'm going to take you over to the left side now. See that blue squiggly line? This takes you up to the Kolb Studio, and this is a bit of a hike here. But what's not showing on this map is, I think it's the orange line. There is another shuttle that will take you up to this region here and to the Kolb Studio. Kolb Studio is not quite as high, which is right here, but there is hiking trails. this dotted line here is a hiking trail, one of my favorite. But if you wanted to check out these areas up here, like the Powell Point, oh my goodness, you guys, the views are just spectacular, and the Hopi Point also. And then Hermit's Rest, another and Mary Coulter, and I can think her name's Mary Ann Coulter. Um, she has another um, architect designed building over there called Hermit Rest. So that's the map just to kind of orient you. Let's take you back to your late afternoon on September 15th. But before we do that, let me just restate that you can make reservations. And on the third video that I'm going to be offering you, I'm going to go over how to make reservations at the different places. But it's pretty easy to do. You can do this all in advance, 60 days prior. Um, you have that full free morning to do your tours, and you don't even have to do tours. You can just take the shuttles around. You can do hikes, you can bike, you can do whatever you want. There's also wheelchairs available in the Grand Canyon if you want to rent one for it's less than $20 for the full day. So at 7,000 feet, that might be a consideration. So after your full day of fun, folks, you want to get over to the depot around 3 p.m. because all aboard at 3:30 and they leave at 3:30 sharp. If you miss the train, you are stuck in the Grand Canyon for the night, and that could be an issue because the they sell out for places to stay. I had, in fact, got my group rates several months ago so that I could give you the best rates possible for the nights that you're staying in both Williams and the Grand Canyon, um, but also because they sell out. So keep that in mind. So, September 15th in the late afternoon, you're going to get back on that train, more entertainment. Remember, this is an adult only train, the car that you're going to be on, not the train itself. As you can see, the little girl pointing at the robbers that are stopping the train. They're going to get on the train and rob you for chips. But you can see here in the center picture, some people are of a little bit older age enjoying the robbery themselves. I mean, it's just so much fun, you guys. Um, it's fun, it's friendly, and then you have musicians that come in. Um, there's a different vibe when you have an adult only car, which, I always appreciate. Kid energy is great too, but sometimes it's just fun, right? To have that adult energy and to experience a kid-like behavior, maybe, um, and be robbed for some tips. And so you'll enjoy that 2 hour and 15 minute ride back that will include snacks and some drinks. Um, so you might not want to have lunch in the Grand Canyon, but there are wonderful places to eat in the Grand Canyon as well for both breakfast and lunch, which will be on your own. It's not part of your ticket, okay? But when you get back home, when you get back into Williams, you're home for the night. You do have dinner as part of your package at the Fred Harvey Restaurant. It's a buffet style, and they have just a range of food. As I mentioned, like for breakfast, they have a huge buffet. So whether you like salads or you want a more hearty meal, that's going to be available for you with desserts, of course, and drink. At the Fred Harvey Restaurant, they also have music playing every night. So it's a nice way to wind down and make it an easy night. But if you want to go to explore Williams for a little bit longer after dinner or even before, because you're going to be getting in right before 5. And so you have a little bit of time. If you like to eat later, then maybe you want to check into the hotel again, and your bags will be waiting for you again, same as going up to the Grand Canyon to make it a little bit easy for you. All right, so on day 5, that's your checkout day, folks. So you'll enjoy another breakfast at Fred Harvey as part of your package. Again, the times between 6:30 and 11, and you check out at 11 a.m. You can extend your stay, of course. Some people like to go beyond Williams and explore maybe Flagstaff or Sedona a little bit longer. There's just lovely places to go. And you guys, Arizona in the autumn, oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. So I do recommend, staying a little bit longer since you're coming into the area. But this is your package. I hope that I was able to cover um, anything that you needed to know about this wonderful package, and I can't wait to have you on board with us. I will send out an email for people who requested the recording, and it will answer some other questions about parking, and I'll give you links to the different tabs of the third video that I'm going to be showing. So enjoy it, and thank you so much for coming along on this ride, and we'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everybody.